Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're putting on our engineering hats and dissecting a system designed for pure kinetic efficiency.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You shared with us a very specific home workout plan. It's called Day 21 Upper Body Strength plus Core Stability.
And on the surface, it looks simple enough, right?
Okay.
It's just a list of familiar movements, all wrapped up in a tidy 20 to 25-minute package. No equipment needed.
Right.
But our mission here is to peel back those layers. We want to get at the intentionality behind this structure.
Mm.
How does this exact sequence of exercises achieve its goals?
Which are, to be clear, build stronger arms, shoulders, chest, plus improve core balance.
All in that really short time frame.
Exactly. This is all about efficiency. I mean, we're looking at a system for someone who needs real results but can't spend an hour in the gym. If you've only got 20 minutes, every single second has to count. So we're treating this plan less like a to-do list and more like a meticulously designed machine.
And that machine starts with preparation. The first 3 minutes are dedicated to a very targeted warm-up.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The plan doesn't just, say stretch for a bit. It follows a clear progression. It starts with 30 seconds of arm circles, forward and back.
That's the classic starting point. But what that 30 seconds is really doing is dynamic mobility. You're prepping the shoulder capsule, getting blood flow in there, and encouraging the flow of synovial fluid.
That's the natural lubricant in your joints.
That's the one. It's all about making sure those ball and socket joints are moving safely before you ask them to bear any real weight.
And it gets specific pretty much immediately after that.
It does. We go straight into 30 seconds of shoulder taps. Now, this is a very smart move.
Okay.
It looks like just a simple warm-up move, but it's actually introducing the need for early core and shoulder stabilization. You're forcing those smaller rotator cuff muscles and your core to stabilize your whole torso.
So you're preparing for the instability that's coming later in the main circuit.
You got it. And then it's 30 seconds of chest openers.
Which feels like a very direct nod to the main goal.
It is. It's the final prep for what we call the anterior muscles.
Yeah.
A ton of pressing is coming up. Push-ups, wide arm push-ups, dips, chest openers. Just make sure those pectoral muscles are lengthened and ready. It cuts down the chance of strain, especially since you're probably coming from, a sitting position.
So that first 90 seconds handles mobility, general readiness. But then I see a really interesting shift in the final 90 seconds of the warm-up. It goes from dynamic stretching into actual activation.
This is a critical strategic pivot. The shift to a 30-second high plank hold, followed by a full minute of slow push-ups that has a dual purpose. It's physical and neurological preparation.
Can you explain the neurological part for someone who might just think, oh, I'm just doing a few light push-ups?
Of course. Think of it like an intense communication rehearsal. The plank hold tells your central nervous system, core, you need to be tight, locked, ready to hold a rigid spine. That sets your baseline tension. Then the slow push-ups, specifically because of that slow tempo, they force your brain to really concentrate on muscle recruitment. It's tuning the brain to muscle connection.
So you're making sure the chest, triceps, and shoulders are firing properly before you demand real effort.
Exactly. You're basically activating the engine without draining the fuel tank.
It's efficiency at its best, minimizing injury risk while maximizing muscle readiness, all before the clock even starts on the real work.
Precisely. No wasted movement.
So we've tuned the instrument. Now let's get into the main engine. Section 2, the upper body strength circuit. This is the real core of it. And the structure itself is really revealing. It's 3 full rounds of a 5-exercise circuit, and it uses a demanding 40 seconds of work followed by just 20 seconds of rest.
That 2-to-1 work-to-rest ratio is key. It's how the plan achieves both strength and endurance gains at the same time.
How so?
Well, for a bodyweight move like a push-up, 40 seconds is long enough to push your muscles into deep fatigue. You're recruiting all your muscle fibers. But that short 20-second rest, it stops you from fully recovering.
So the metabolic stress just stays high through all 3 rounds.
Exactly. It's what we call high work density.
That makes a lot of sense. So you're pushing your capacity in a way that just doing more reps might not. Okay, so let's look at the actual exercises. They start strong.
The structure is logical. You start with the foundation.
Yeah.
Exercise 1 is standard push-ups. That's your primary compound movement.
Hitting the chest, triceps, shoulders all at once.
Yep. You hit the biggest movers while your energy is highest.
But then right after, they immediately zoom in with the second exercise.
Correct. Exercise 2 is tricep dips. You can do them on a chair or the floor. This is where that stronger arms goal gets really specific.
So even though push-ups use the triceps,
The dip isolates them powerfully. The source material even notes this as, quote, great for arm definition. That tells you this plan is intentionally targeting the triceps, which, make up about 2/3 of your upper arm mass. It's strategic.
so we go compound, then isolation. Now we move to exercise 3, plank shoulder taps. This is fascinating to me because it connects the upper body goal directly back to the core stability goal, right in the middle of the strength circuit.
This is the strategic brilliance of it. By putting the stabilization move here, you're asking the shoulders and triceps, which are already tired from the push-ups and dips, to now handle dynamic instability.
Wow, okay.
You're forcing the smaller stabilizer muscles around the shoulder to work harder, and you're challenging the core to resist rotation. It demands total body tension.
I can just imagine how much harder that move feels after 2 rounds of pressing. It becomes a real test of core control.
It becomes a gut check, yeah. If your core isn't on, you're going to wobble. It links the two goals beautifully.
And we wrap up the round with 2 sort of contrasting movements. Exercise 4 is wide arm push-ups,
Another variation.
clearly designed to hit the chest deeper.
Yeah, by widening your grip, you change the leverage. You increase the activation of the pectoral muscles, specifically targeting the outer chest fibers. So it ensures that by the end of the set, the chest is fully taxed from multiple angles.
And then, after all that pushing, after hitting the front of the body so hard, we get exercise 5, the Superman raises. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this feels like the insurance policy for the whole routine.
It absolutely is. It's the crucial balancing movement, and this is where we really need to pause and appreciate the design.
Okay.
The first 4 movements are highly anterior chain dominant. That means they strengthen the front of your body, your chest, your shoulders, your abs.
So what happens if you just skip the Superman raises? What does that anterior chain dominance do to your posture over time?
That's a great question. If you only strengthen the front, you create an imbalance. The strong muscles in the front literally start to pull your body forward.
Leading to things like rounded shoulders.
Exactly, or that hunched over look. The Superman raise is the counterbalance. It targets the posterior chain, the lower back, the glutes. It builds strength in your back that actively pulls your shoulders back and promotes good upright posture. It directly offsets all that pushing.
So a great program doesn't just build muscle, it prevents imbalances.
And the Superman raises are the mechanism for that prevention right here.
That structural thoughtfulness is really what separates a random list of exercises from a well-designed program. Okay, so we've exhausted the upper body with balanced intensity. Now we shift gears pretty dramatically for section 3, the core stability finisher.
A huge shift.
We're moving away from that compound strength into pure isometric and coordinated endurance.
And the pacing structure tells you the intent is total fatigue. We get rid of the 40-20 timing completely. It's a much more intense format. 30 seconds for each exercise with 0 rest between them.
0 rest. You only get 1 minute of rest between the 2 full rounds.
That 0 transition time means you are keeping maximal sustained tension on the core muscles. It's designed to be physically and mentally tough.
In that sustained tension, that's what's targeting the core balance they mention in the goal.
Precisely. You're forcing the core to stabilize under extreme duress.
Let's list out the 4 moves in sequence. We've got the standard plank, then a side plank on the right, side plank on the left, and it finishes with the dead bug.
So this brings up an important question. Why these 4 in this order? It's because it's a comprehensive attack on all the primary functions of the core.
Okay, break that down.
The plank hits the anterior core, your main abs, and it challenges what we call anti-extension. It stops your lower back from sagging.
And then the side planks obviously change the plane of movement entirely.
Completely. The 2 side planks target lateral core stability. They hit your obliques and also those deep, often neglected muscles like the QL,
RQL.
the quadratus lumborum. It runs from your ribs to your pelvis. It's vital for preventing side bending and protecting your spine during rotation.
And finally, the dead bug. I think that's a movement people really underestimate.
Oh, it's deceptively challenging. It's
Yeah.
all about control and coordination.
Right.
While a plank is about holding a rigid line, the dead bug introduces controlled limb movement. It's a dynamic stability exercise.
Right.
It really challenges your core's ability to keep your spine stable while your arms and legs are moving around independently. It builds that real-world balance.
So by sequencing anterior, lateral, and then coordination, this finisher delivers a complete total core workout. It achieves that core balance promise.
It's efficient, it's brutal, and it's complete. It leaves no part of the core untouched, and it uses that lack of rest to push deep into your muscular endurance.
Incredible. So we've gone from activation through high-density strength to a comprehensive stability finisher. The final 3 minutes, they're all about recovery.
And here again, we see that strategic targeting. The cooldown isn't just general, it specifically addresses the muscles that were just under a ton of stress. You see 30 seconds of a shoulder stretch, 30 seconds of a chest stretch.
Makes sense. Those areas need to be lengthened after all that pushing.
And then there's a full minute dedicated to the upper back stretch.
Which is key, right? It reinforces the postural benefits we talked about from the Superman raises.
Exactly. It helps reverse any residual tightness that might have happened during the push-up sets. It cements the benefits of that posterior chain work.
And the final minute is just deep breathing. This isn't just a mental break, is it?
Not at all. It's a physiological signal. It's about actively telling your body's nervous system to switch from that high-stress fight-or-flight mode.
The sympathetic nervous system.
Right. Back into the parasympathetic rest and repair mode. It just sets your body up for optimal recovery and adaptation.
So when we zoom out, what does this all mean for you listening? If we synthesize this whole plan, what we see is a perfectly self-contained unit. It's a masterclass in smart training.
It really is. The plan uses its limitations. Short duration, the lack of equipment. It uses them as strengths. It has progressive intensity. It maximizes muscle recruitment. It prevents imbalances.
And it ensures comprehensive core function by hitting all those planes of stability in the finisher.
Every minute, every set, every rest interval is intentional. It delivers exactly what it promises.
It truly is a brilliantly engineered piece of fitness instruction. Thank you for sharing the source material with us for this deep dive.
My pleasure. And before we let you go, here's something for you to mull over as you think about the strategy behind your own routines. The plan, as we said, intentionally included tricep dips, specifically for arm definition. But what if this routine had swapped those dips with a different type of push-up variation? Something like, say, the high-demand archer push-up, which is more focused on asymmetric chest strength. How would removing that specific triceps isolation move change the whole strength-to-endurance ratio? And how would it change the aesthetic goal of the program?
Interesting.
It's a question about training strategy. Are you training for highly specific muscle shape? Or are you training for maximal general pressing strength? Something to consider next time you choose an exercise.